What's up, everybody? It's your boy TruElement78 in the building with
Your one and only reigning, defending Mondo Lucha Hall of Famer, the X-Man, Xavier Mustafa.
And everybody's favorite narcissist, the natural Chris Black.
and today is a Wednesday when we're recording this, so we are going to get into a little bit of talking about AEW purchasing ROH, or just say congratulations to Tony Kahn on that purchase. Don't know where that's necessarily going to lead, but I guess it goes in tow with the revolution that we're going to be seeing this weekend. So we're here to give you guys the predictions for that. But like I said at the top, what do you guys think about ROH being bought? I know you guys will have more thoughts on it when you do your next episode, but initial thoughts about ROH being purchased.
That was a way better surprise and announcement than the one we got a couple of weeks ago that was hyped up. I can get into specifics about what that was, but I think it's kind of cool because, something was going to happen to it.
You can't be a hater all your life.
Glad it's in AEW's hands.
Bask in its glory.
Anyway, I'm glad it's in AEW. And let's see what goes with it. I think they're just setting themselves up for a streaming deal. I just don't know how they'll do it with ROH and AEW content, but we'll see it when it happens.
I'm definitely excited about what's going to come with this whole deal. I don't want to speculate too much because I'm pretty sure you can go online, you can hear all the speculation. I mean, it's only been a couple of hours since the announcement, and I'm hearing people saying, oh, Ring of Honor is going to be like, they're developmental. They're going to be running two separate entities. They're going to be Ring of Honor. It's not going to be like WWE purchasing WCW. They're not going to merge. They're going to keep the company separate, which I think would be a better idea. That way you can have your people who are on AEW Dark, or the people that you want to develop, they can actually work with a company that has some experience. Although there's a lot to get into that, like who's going to be the booker. I don't know, there's a lot of details that need to be hashed out. I'm just glad that Ring of Honor is not going to shut their doors. Do I think Tony Khan may be a little over his head? Yes, I do. But so far, hasn't been any major failures by Tony Khan. So although personally I think that he's taken on a little too much, he may prove me wrong and be able to just make the best out of this. So I'm willing to do what everyone in the wrestling community is just always condemns when you're like, just let it play out. I'm going to let this play out before I make any snap judgments.
Purchasing.
Go
ahead.
I just want to add that based on what you just said, Chris Black, I don't think our ROH survives this. I don't think they're going to do a separate show. I don't think they're going to be a separate entity because he already has AEW brand. To try to run a total separate brand, I think right now would be suicide.
Well, it would probably, again, we can only compare it to WWE. I think it would be like WWE's relationship with Ohio Valley Wrestling, where OVW was basically its own entity, sort of. It didn't run under the WWE banner. It was OVW, but we all knew it was WWE. I think it'd be the same thing in my mind. There would be AEW and then there'd be Ring of Honor. Of course, it's AEW, but it runs under the banner of Ring of Honor.
Purchasing it after ROH had released all of his talent, he got it for cheap. Hopefully we get those details on how much he actually paid for it. I think that would have been kind of interesting from a pro wrestling aspect, that like Cody comes out and be like, actually, I bought ROH.
Which is,
I heard somebody say Tony Khan bought ROH for Cody Rhodes. One thing that's also going to be kind of interesting is, like, we know that AEW has a relationship with New Japan, but don't know how far that relationship is going now that shows are going to start running back in actual Japan and different things like that. Remember, ROH did that joint show with New Japan. They were the first company to help NJPW actually get a foothold here and sell out Madison Square Garden for the show that they were supposed to do. So I don't really know how this deal is going to work with the partners, whether it's the the local affiliates of Sinclair, are those going to still continue to be in place? So ROH actually has some place to air their shows. Are they going to have to transition over to YouTube? And like a lot of people were saying that it's going to be like a feeder or a brand that they can use for their YouTube shows that isn't AEW, which I don't think would make a lot of sense, because one of the things with AEW is that they're still trying to build their brand, because there's a lot of people that still doesn't know that they exist. And with that being said, I don't even know if there's people that know what ROH is. Like, what do you guys think? Do you think more people know who ROH is? Obviously, we're wrestling fans, but do you think that ROH has more brand recognition amongst people than AEW, or what do you guys think about that?
You know what? This might be just me being positive for once, but I actually probably think Ring of Honor's got a bigger name than Impact.
I agree with that.
Just because it's been around much longer. If you know who CM Punk is, if you know who Daniel Bryan is, or Bryan Danielson, or half the other motherfuckers, Samoa Joe, you know they came from Ring of Honor. AJ Styles, it's not a secret.
Well, I would also agree with that, mainly because of those Sinclair deals they had. ROH would come on local television here. You didn't need cable to watch ROH.
Right.
You could catch an ROH show, and you just be like, oh, what is this wrestling? Oh, this isn't WWE. What is this ROH thing? Yeah. And, that's how I discovered ROH. Like, I didn't know anything about ROH, even when I was watching WWE, and they had CM Punk and Daniel Bryan and all of those people there. Like, I think I'd heard the name in passing, but it wasn't until I was flipping through television on a Saturday or something like that, way back in the day. Right. It's like, oh, what's this Ring of Honor? Who's this Jay Lethal guy? Like,
well, plus, who's to say that this whole streaming deal with HBO Max, which was also rumored, who's to say that isn't still in the works, or some other streaming platform, and they might strike a deal kind of like similar to Peacock, where they have their own section where Ring of Honor could have their shows. Fuck the internet, fuck YouTube. They have their shows like NXT, the good NXT used to be on the network. Maybe Ring of Honor could have their shows on HBO Max. Pay-per-views can be on HBO Max, their archives. Like, this could potentially be a big thing if a streaming service or something picks up AEW / Ring of Honor.
And what are you talking about? NXT has been great. Have you seen Nikita Lyons?
Look, that woman been all over them splits. It's just like, damn, is there any other clips from this match?
You see Jordan Grace out there getting jealous.
Listen, I know NXT hasn't been really in the best lights the past couple of months. However, I think they're starting to turn that ship around, slowly but surely.
Oh yeah, I like when it turns around.
Right.
Oh, you talking about NXT? All right. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into these predictions for the AEW Revolution pay-per-view that is going to be happening this upcoming Sunday. You can order it on Fight TV. I think it starts at 7:00. So yeah, be sure to continue to support AEW, especially. They're definitely going to need your money because they're kind of overextending themselves. Tony Khan is pulling out that good old war chest. So yeah, Sunday, March 6th. So we're going to start with the buy-in. We got Chris Statlander taking on Layla Hirsch. Mustafa.
I just couldn't even say anything when you name this match. Like, I don't even give a flying fuck who wins this match. Maybe Chris Statlander.
Well, Layla Hirsch went heel. She's just been beating down everybody.
Layla Hirsch is like 3'7". Nah.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go with Chris Statlander.
I think this is a program they're going to try to keep going, so I'm actually going to say Layla Hirsch because she does seem like somebody they want to build up. In Chris Statlander right now, I don't think there's really going to be a spot for her based on a match that's also going to be happening on this show. So
I think they're going to build Statlander to take on Jade Cargill.
Well, all right. I think they're going to want that visual of Layla Hirsch and her, so I don't know. But they're both heels, so that is possible as well. So, all right. Next up, we got Hook versus QT Marshall, also on the buy-in. I just say Hook is going to hurt that man.
This is bull. Why is this on the buy-in?
because QT Marshall is involved.
Hook hands down wins this with ease.
You know, if it wasn't QT Marshall, I'd say this would be a great time to get that first loss out the way. But since it is QT Marshall, I'm going with Hook.
My thoughts exactly.
All right, next up we got Darby Allin, Sting, and Sammy Guevara taking on the Andrade Hardy front office in a Tornado Trios tag team match, and we already know this is going to be what is it Jim Cornette says, like difficult to follow, like an outlaw mud show, like no story, all move.
I want the heels to go over in this. God damn it, y'all keep burying the Matt Hardy brand. I think maybe they start giving Matt Hardy some W's so that when his brother comes back, he needs some.
I'm going to go the opposite. I think that the heels are, sorry, I feel like the heels are about to lose because they need to spiral Matt Hardy down. Again, we don't really address rumors, but if they're going to do the whole broken Matt Hardy, the reason why they didn't was because the pandemic came and there was no fans. The broken Hardy gimmick does not work without fans. So they might do the whole Brother Nero shit, which I admittedly didn't like that when it was on Impact. I just didn't get it. So I'm interested to see if they do the downward spiral with Matt Hardy, that he becomes broken. Here comes Jeff. And I don't know. They do something with that. But Darby Allin, Sting, Sammy Guevara, they win this match.
All right. I agree with Mustafa. Like I said, I think the Hardy front office needs something, and I don't know where Darby, Sting, and Sammy are going from here. Well, I guess I know where Sammy's going, but Darby and Sting, I think it's time for this relationship to end.
I agree with that.
I think they've gotten as much mileage out of it as they possibly can. I'm not excited for Darby and Sting anymore. Darby's stock is going down. They're all kind of getting lost in the shuffle just because of how much talent has been brought in. And, a lot of idiots out there say, oh, they need to create more belts, but I don't think they need to create more belts. I just think that we need more interesting storytelling. Like I said, so Darby and Sting, I think we need to start to see them start to dissolve a little bit. So
I agree. Someone online was like, they need to create a cruiserweight title. It's like, for what?
Everybody in AEW is a cruiserweight.
I was just going to say they're all damn cruiserweight.
except for like 5 guys.
Right.
2 girls. All right. So next up, we got a match that I had 0 interest in, but of course, one of the best talkers in the game has talked me into caring about something that Chris Jericho has going on. We're going to have Chris Jericho taking on Eddie Kingston.
Okay. So it seems like within the last couple of weeks, Jericho's either he's playing the arrogant babyface or he's slowly doing a heel turn. Or maybe he's just turning heel for this match. I don't know, but I do know that Eddie Kingston deserves a win. I think that'll be huge to pin the former champ. Plus, Eddie's been catching L's like in big matches, so I think he needs a win.
Which is part of the story here, which is why part of me wants to see Kingston lose and not get the big one here, and they have another match maybe, like this becomes a series of matches, so Eddie loses this one and then maybe wins the second, and they have a rubber match that Eddie can go over in, but it's for something, or maybe it's like a retirement match for Jericho or a retirement match for Kingston. But they both put their careers on the line in a match, and that'd be the big one. Because, like I said, the storyline is that Eddie can never win the big one. But I also think, like you said, Chris Black, that he needs a win. He's lost everything. And so I don't really know which direction to go. I'm going to say that Kingston win, because I just think that he needs that win more than he needs the story.
I'll respond, but I'll wait till Mustafa goes.
I didn't know if he was done or not because he had a couple long pauses. So I didn't want to start talking and cut him off like he does me all the time. But anyway, yeah, Kingston needs to win this hands down. I don't want to see him in 3 matches with Jericho, best of 3. No, I do not want to see that. I'm over that when he wrestled MJF for 13 years. No, I don't want that anymore. Unless we're gonna get some old school Jericho, if we're gonna get some like Eddie Kingston said, if we're gonna get some old school him, all right, maybe, but we're not. No, that time has passed. So Eddie Kingston, hands down, victory.
Mustafa keeps talking all this shit. I'm gonna have to talk to the promoter of Mondo Lucha and see if we can book Keith Lee versus Mustafa so he can put him in his place.
Well, what I was going to respond to you, Tru Element, is, what, if they can keep it interesting, I actually wouldn't mind a program, like a 3-match program between these two, because honestly, with all that's going on in AEW, what else are you going to do with these two guys? If they can keep it interesting, I'd like to see a series of matches between these two.
And if I remember, Jericho's contract for 3 years, I don't know if he signed a new contract or not.
I think the word is he has not.
Okay, so yeah, I think that, like I said, this should be a series of 3. I think Jericho could win here, or maybe Kingston wins here. Jericho complains later, like maybe it's something the ref didn't see. Jericho got his foot under the rope or whatever, or something like that, and Kingston wins the match, and Jericho does his whole bitching and crying and moaning. You have a second match, and then Jericho ends up winning that on a fluke, and then they have the third match. And like I said, each one of them put their careers on the line, and Eddie Kingston retires Chris Jericho from in-ring action. Hopefully from commentary, too, with some of the commentary Jericho's done recently, but neither here nor there.
How do you start off commentary being great and then just go downhill?
How do you start off great? Never mind. Never mind. Let's not talk about the career of Mustafa. Jon Moxley versus Bryan Danielson. Said they can't team together until they bleed together. And this is a regular match, not a hardcore match.
The match that I don't give 2 shits about. Hands down, Bryan Danielson should destroy Moxley, but we know that's not gonna happen. It's gonna be a competitive match, and probably Moxley's gonna go over. Yeah.
You want to see Bryan Danielson take that paradigm shift, get dropped on that sack of dimes he calls a neck.
All jokes aside, I think that Bryan Danielson's going to give Jon Moxley his best match, hands down.
AEW or ever?
Ever.
Okay,
think about it. I'm sorry. I'm going to pull a big swole. Name your. I'm sorry. I'm going to have to do it. What's your best Jon Moxley match? Jon Moxley, Dean Ambrose, whatever the fuck you want to call him. What do you think is his best match up until now?
Jericho in WWE over a potted plant.
About to say, I don't even remember that till you said the potted plant, which is sad. That means the plant was more over than that match.
I don't even think I have one.
I don't have a favorite.
You would have one. You probably had to just be like the Shield versus the Usos.
You know what? No. I do have one. I think my favorite Jon Moxley match had to have been in New Japan. That was the only matches I really enjoyed. Him versus Juice Robinson, him versus Lance Archer, him versus even Toru Yano. I mean, he had good matches in New Japan.
Okay. This match, yeah, Bryan Danielson, I think, should go over. Because I don't think Moxley's lost since returning, but he also hasn't wrestled anybody of note.
Oh my God, this is I really don't want to sound like a cop out. I can't call it, and I honestly I'm just gonna be guessing if I pick a winner. So it's honestly a toss up. If they're going to do the whole team up to teach the young whippersnappers or whip them into shape, Bryan Danielson has to win. I don't think nothing comes of anything if Jon Moxley wins. I'm going to have to go with Bryan Danielson on this one.
Did Mustafa give his?
Yes, it is. I said Bryan Danielson should destroy Moxley.
Do you think that whatever they're going to build is actually going to be the opposite of what they said they wanted to do, where they want to take the young talent, that it's going to turn more into a main event mafia type thing from Impact or TNA, I should say?
Danielson and Moxley being the original two members?
Yeah. Like maybe they bring in the people that aren't doing anything who've been brought in. Like they get Jay Lethal. Like they start bringing in like ROH names, team with them. Because all the young guys are already kind of in cliques. That's why I'm saying that. Like,
yeah, because they're trying to. It seems like AEW is kind of like New Japan, where everyone's in a faction. There's a few guys that are not in a faction, like Kota Ibushi. He's not affiliated with anybody else, but yeah, for the most part, most people have an affiliation with a faction.
Yeah, I can't think of anybody out there that's young that hasn't been pulled in by some already older head, like an experienced person. Like whether you like it or not, like Private Party is with the Hardy front office. Top Flight, I guess, is out there on their own. Taz has his young guys with him. Jericho pulled in Sammy Guevara. Darby Allin has Sting. Now maybe that's where you get the separation of Sting and Darby Allin. Like we said, I think the Hardy front office should win that match. So maybe Sting causes Darby to get pinned or something to start putting them seeds of dissension, and maybe Darby goes and joins Moxley and Bryan's faction or whatever they're starting up.
But okay, now that you've said all that, it's just like, Bryan Danielson, he's on a roll right now. He's on fire. Jon Moxley wins, I think, kind of kills. No, I shouldn't say kill. It's going to hurt Bryan Danielson's momentum. It's not going to kill it because dude is on fire. Like, he's on fire. And I think Jon Moxley win. I think that does nothing. So what? If Jon Moxley wins, so what? I think they'll be smarter than that. I'm going with Bryan Danielson. So fuck it. I'm not saying it's a toss up anymore. It has to be Bryan Danielson. It has to.
Thank you for saying it my way.
All right, next up we got the match that most people are looking forward to on the card. CM Punk versus MJF in a dog collar match. We'll start with Mustafa so he can get his thoughts out there.
The fans win. Yes. We all win. I'm so excited for this match. These guys have tremendous chemistry. I can't wait to see it play out again. I just hope they don't wrestle for 45 minutes, but it's going to be great. And I think this was a toss-up, because I can go with either of these guys winning, but I think it's time for CM Punk to get a W. But I think I want him to take an L right after that. Some type of way. I want this to go just a little bit longer, not too long. I don't want to be Jericho MJF, but I heard I think it was the what is his name? Jim Cornette podcast, where he was trying to say, well, maybe Punk just keeps losing. Then he has like several matches with him, and then the first 3 or 4 he loses, but then he finally gets that win at the end, and then they go to something else. I would like to see something like that. I don't want to see Punk just to go in there and get a clean win. No, I don't think it's time for that yet. Give it to MJF.
Yeah, I'm going to have to absolutely agree with you. Yeah, I think my decision about this match was also influenced by Mr. Cornette because he made a good point. He's just like, Punk could win this match and then they'll have the rubber match or whatever, but it's been done and that's not interesting. Have MJF win again, indecisively. Have him beat CM Punk. This is a dog collar match. It's basically no rules. I mean, there's rules obviously to the match, but there's no rules. This is more advantageous to MJF than it is CM Punk. So it would make sense for MJF to win. And maybe, like I say, at the end of the series, maybe Punk gets his win back and they can split off and do something else. But I think MJF needs to win this match. I'm actually going to go with MJF. I think they're going to do CM. Okay, I'm going to tell you what I want to see and what I hope to see is MJF. However, unless Punk has buried his ego, he's not going to lose this match. He's not going to agree to lose this match. I hope he swallows his pride, and I hope he puts MJF over again.
Yeah, I think after this match, or after this series of matches, because we know there's going to be 3 matches, I just know it. I think that's when MJF needs to go for the world title and be the one to take it off of Hangman Page. But we will get, I guess that spoils my prediction for later. But yeah, MJF needs to go over here. And I think if this is a series of 3 matches, MJF needs to go over in all 3 matches.
What are you guys talking about? This is the 3rd match.
This is only his 2nd match. What are you talking about?
This is the 3rd match. He beat him twice that night. That match
oh man, that
restarted. This is the 3rd match.
I guess that's how MJF will spin it. That's probably going to be the story coming out of this is I beat you 3 times. I beat you twice in Chicago, and I beat you wherever the hell this show is happening.
Yeah, this shit is too good. Have MJF beat him again. Maybe even have CM Punk have a moment of sympathy during this match. He had just a 1 moment of hesitation, and it costs him. And then he's just like, never again. And that's when he gets the victories in the next match.
CM Punk's going to pull a Peter Parker from the latest Spider-Man movie.
Pretty much.
Here's my question. I really want to answer to. This has been such great booking. What happens after this? I feel like everything is going to be a letdown now because nothing really else is standing out. I mean, Daniel Bryan and Moxley, I feel like that's a waste. The whole Darby Allin and Andrade.
So what you're getting at is that this needs to be the main event? Is that what you're just trying to say in a roundabout way?
An event, but here's the thing. They have nothing to go behind it. Like, the Adam Page stuff isn't working. Let's be honest.
Yeah, that's why I said before we recorded, I said that I think this match deserves to be the main event.
I got a feeling that the women's championship is going to be the main event. That's the only thing that could possibly follow this match.
Oh, I'm sorry. No disrespect, but hell no.
I'm not talking about the pay-per-view. I'm talking about the company.
Oh, I've got an answer for that. I've got an answer for that for both of these. I think at the end of this program with MJF, I think his whole encounter with MJF is going to fuck CM Punk up character-wise. And I think you're going to slowly start seeing heel CM Punk come out.
And also, you got to think, we haven't seen MJF and Bryan Danielson yet, and I think that will be an amazing story as well. Like, this one has ties back to MJF's youth, but I think that Bryan Danielson will give MJF the best matches of his career when that does happen.
Okay, so if I put my Booker hat on, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have Page win, and then I'm going to have MJF take the belt off Page, and then I'm going to a program with Daniel Bryan.
Then Daniel Bryan has to turn. He has to turn babyface. Maybe he does.
I don't even think he has to turn babyface because it's MJF.
Okay. I can understand that, but I prefer not to.
He's gonna be the babyface no matter what. Nothing that Bryan Danielson really hasn't even been a heel. He's just been a dick. He hasn't done anything necessarily heelish. I don't recall seeing Bryan Danielson cheating to win. He's just been kicking the shit out of people.
Shit, hell,
really heelish.
Hell, maybe MJF beats Punk at Revolutions. Maybe there is no match after that. Maybe MJF goes for the title, and CM Punk doesn't get his win back until he faces MJF for the title.
Listen, just so you know, Daniel Bryan is a babyface. In the back, there's a sign that says babyface, there's a sign that says heels, and it's connected to a tunnel. And we see that he consistently chooses babyface. So there it is.
Hey, he ain't wrong. Lately, he's been coming through the crowd, though.
I'll never forget when I realized that. I was like, wait a minute, he is still coming out the... I didn't notice that at first.
And Cody always came out the center.
Yep. Most.
No, yeah, he rolls out the floor.
Dressed this old boy from the boys. Homelander. Who thought he was the hero, but was actually the villain. Anyways, moving on. TBS Championship, Jade Cargill versus Tay Conti. There's going to be a whole bunch of sexy in this match, but Jade Cargill destroys Tay Conti.
Jade Cargill.
I think this should actually be one of those speed record matches.
Yeah, Jade Cargill wins, and I'm sorry, I think this match is going to be the shits.
If it is, it's going to be because of Jay. I think that Tay is really good.
I don't think that Jade can keep up with Tay Conti. And I don't know if Tay Conti has enough experience to carry Jade Cargill.
I'm sure this is going to be one of those matches that Bryan Danielson has ran through with both of them prior to the show. So hopefully
that may be true. I just think the execution is going to be clunky.
I need you to find some better words there, brother. That sounded highly inappropriate.
What did I say?
Said Daniel Bryan is going to run through both girls or something before the match. Hey, can't say those things.
He is married to a twin, so I'm sure he's used. Never mind. Two on ones is a specialty. Face of the Revolution ladder match. This is a match I'm looking forward to because we got one of the best wrestlers in the world in Keith Lee taking on Wardlow, Powerhouse Hobb, Ricky Starks, Orange Cassidy, and To Be Determined, which is not Jeff Hardy, people. His do not compete is not up until March 9th. So
is it Cesaro?
Ooh.
Although I think AEW is just way overloaded with talent, and Cesaro would be as talented as he is. I think he would get kind of lost in the shuffle.
It's going to be Buddy Matthews.
I'll accept that.
Listen, there's only one person winning this match. That's my buddy, Mr. Starks.
It's going to be Keith Lee.
It's not for real, Dan.
So, I just hope it's still the Sonic
Ring.
Ring.
Don't speak that bullshit into it.
So
it's going to be my boy Starks representing the FTW championship because he needs a W because that man's a star.
I'm going to, hold on. Before you go, Chris Black, I'm going to need Mustafa to just cut his promo on Keith Lee. What is your problem with the Limitless one?
Overrated. It's really overrated.
I think he reminds you of what you used to do.
I can still do it, so.
Show me.
You come to a show every now and then, you might let's see a little something.
You get in the ring every now and then, maybe I would see.
So ain't everything ain't advertised, my friend. Surprises happen all the time. Expect the unexpected.
So in looking at this match, obviously I'm thinking, okay, so who in this match can I see feuding with Sammy Guevara? Granted, he still has the title after, I think, him and Darby Allin this Friday, right? At Rampage, aren't they having a match this Friday?
You watched Dynamite. I was watching the Batman.
Yeah, I believe they have their match Friday at Rampage. So, granted, if Sammy Guevara or if Darby Allin, I don't know, whoever has the belt, I'm looking at who's gonna face them. One of them.
Right.
It's not going to be Wardlow. It's not going to be Powerhouse Hobbs. It's not going to be Christian. I doubt it's Ethan Page. I cannot see Orange Cassidy.
It's also, you got to remember, too, part of the storyline here, even though they haven't been playing it up on television, is if Wardlow wins, he has to give up his opportunity to MJF.
And yeah, MJF is above the TNT Championship. So, now that I said, anyway, Wardlow ain't winning. It's either to be determined, or possibly Ricky Starks, or possibly Ricky Starks. Although it seems like Ricky Starks and Keith Lee is gonna become involved in some type of storyline. But I could see Ricky Starks possibly dethroning Sammy Guevara and having the championship, and then him and Keith Lee kind of feud over that.
Yeah. So do we get the spot in this? I can't remember which NXT match it was or who was in it. Maybe Mustafa can enlighten us. What was the match where who was the tiny guy they had? There was a 5-way or 6-way match they had in NXT, and they were just tossing this little guy around. It was one of the
Is it the black guy?
Maybe that was who they were tossing around, but I remember it was one of the guys that ended up getting released from down there. Big guy. He got caught, huh?
I know who you're talking about, and I cannot think of his name because I was a fan of his.
The small guy. Bronson Reed is the guy you're thinking that got released, the big guy, right?
No, I know who he's talking about. He's talking about the little scrawny black kid.
Yeah, the one who got engaged to the black referee. That's sad. I forgot his name too. I just know he's engaged to the black chick.
So who did you pick?
Ricky Starks, or to be determined, but I'm leaning more towards Ricky Starks.
Man, I really want to remember that match because it was Donovan Dijak was in it. One of the freaking, I don't think he was a Viking Raider. He was in that, the group that got called up but never did anything that Nikki Ash is in.
Leonra.
Huh?
There we go.
Leonra.
Is that who they were tossing around? They were playing catch with him essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who gets that spot in this match? Does Ricky Starks get tossed around and caught by Keith Lee, Wardlow, and Powerhouse Hobbs?
Could be. It could happen. Right now he's the smallest guy. Well, no, Orange Cassidy's in it too. But I can't see Orange Cassidy going up against Sammy Guevara or Darby Allin.
He's more like a potato. He's supposed to be a couch potato. All right, next up we got, this is a match I really don't give two shits about. Like, I don't even know what the real story is here. Like, Jurassic Express has been completely forgotten about. Maybe they're on Rampage, but I don't watch Rampage all the time. AEW World Tag Team Champions Jurassic Express taking on Red Dragon and the Young Bucks. Triple threat tag team match.
Jurassic Express retains.
That's going to be my vote.
Then it's going to be a sweep because that's my vote too. There's going to be some shenanigans going on between Young Bucks and Red Dragon, and that's going to cancel each other out.
All right. Next up, AEW Women's World Championship on the line as Dr. Britt Baker defends against Thunder Rosa. These two had a classic lights out match in 2021. Can they repeat that here?
Thunder Rosa all day, baby.
Yeah, this is the only title match. This is the only title change on the pay-per-view.
Way to spoil the next one, but yeah, I think Thunder Rosa gets it.
I do want to say before you go into the main event, I think the match that you were talking about was the NXT North American title triple threat: Johnny Gargano, Damian Priest, and Leonora. I think that's
no, because I said the guy from I said Donovan Dijak was in it, Keith Lee was in it, and the guy from the group that Nikki Ash came from. What was the name of that group? Then you're
not talking it's Sanity. You're not talking about Leon Ruff because he wasn't in NXT when Donovan Dijakovic was.
Yeah. So it wasn't Leon Ruff. Yeah, this was like a 6-man match, and they were literally just playing catch with somebody. It might have been Drake Maverick. I don't remember who they were tossing around. I'm gonna look it up.
We're making Keith Lee matches, all right?
Oh man, I'm gonna put up money on this. Like I put money up so we could get New Jack and Chris Black caught more than cold feet. He probably caught a case. He caught a cold.
Cold case. Anyway.
And yeah, I'm gonna definitely talk to Mondo Lucha and see what we can do about getting Keith Lee to show up next year.
I'd actually like a Keith Lee versus Xavier Mustafa match. Since y'all want to put New Jack against folks.
Why gotta be Mondo Lucha? Why can't it be Legacy Pro?
Well, I mean, that's
is that
more
in the
in
budget?
your hands.
That's in the
more,
budget, you know.
Let's get in TC Washington's ear. He the one he'll shut that. He'll shoot that idea down.
The same way you did. The same way that you did New Jack.
Oh, damn! I see what you did.
It's not gonna work for me, brother.
I have it on good authority. If that Keith Lee price is right, it can happen.
Interesting.
Mainly because it'll put asses in seats.
Will it though?
I already know what Keith Lee rate is. I actually did look that up, so it could happen. I just need a little bit of help.
Now, unlike Mustafa, I actually do kind of like Keith Lee. But do you think he'll put asses in seats on the indie show?
Yeah, I do.
All right, let me go on record. I don't hate Keith Lee.
No, don't start backtracking now. You're going to put that fucking Wile E. Coyote hole in the wall backtracking so goddamn fast.
No, it's just, I just don't click. I don't click with the group. 8% of it. Just don't.
I wish Mark Henry was still active. Book Mark Henry versus Xavier Mustafa. They got heat from back in the day.
You do.
Then you say he looked at you in catering like, who this big ass nigga?
He didn't give it a look like.
They try to replace me.
I thought it'd be cool to see another black man back there, but he's like, nah, bro, I think he's gonna.
He gave you the.
That's what I got.
He gave you the Not Another Teen movie, when he's just like, hold on, I'm the only black dude supposed to be here.
Right.
Damn, that's whack.
What the fuck you doing there? Hold on, let me go talk to Vince.
All right, and finally we have the main event in name only of the AEW World Champion Hangman Adam Page taking on Adam Cole, baby.
Before we give our predictions, is it just me or has Adam Cole fell off?
There's no heat behind this feud because it's kind of just been rushed.
He's definitely fell off. He doesn't even give a shit about his body anymore. He has lost all tone and definition, in my opinion. And he just feels like, I don't feel like he's going through the motions. I mean, he's putting the work in the ring, but I just feel in other areas, he's just like, whatever. He doesn't have that. I don't think they're holding accountable there in AEW. Like they wouldn't in WWE.
I don't even think he's delivering in the ring. I think he's kind of like resting on his laurels. He's falling into that hole. If you've seen one Adam Cole match, you've seen them all in AEW. It's just like, let's hit the Adam Cole spots and take it home.
You mean he's fallen into the same fucking pattern as the Young Bucks?
Pretty much.
The rejoining with the Young Bucks?
Pretty much. So, with that being said, that is why Adam Cole is not winning this match.
I agree with you.
Yeah, they could throw a monkey wrench in there and have him beat Adam Page, but nah, they ain't gonna do that. Like I said, there's no heat behind this feud, so it makes no sense for Adam Cole just to win the title out of nowhere, unless he's going to be a transitional champ himself.
Yeah, the Hangman definitely wins this one, hands down.
Yeah, Hangman wins this. Like I said, I think MJF is going to be the one that takes the belt off of him.
And thanks for coming, Hangman Page.
So this is called this is the Revolution show, and next up is the Double or Nothing show happening Memorial Day weekend in Las Vegas. That's going to be the next big show. Where do you guys see AEW going now that the ROH deal has happened? This pay-per-view is happening. So this is all coming together very quickly. Do you see, and when is the ROH pay-per-view supposed to be, their comeback? Do you have that anywhere around you, or do you know offhand?
I know it's in April. Let me just look it up real quick.
Because what I'm wondering is how quickly do we start seeing integration? Like, obviously they don't have any talent because they were all released, but I'm just wondering. Because we know that the ROH Hall of Fame is happening. Who are the 4 inductees? I know there's Samoa Joe, Bryan Danielson, CM Punk, and
Briscoe brothers.
And the Briscoes.
Yeah. So it is, the Super Card of Honor is on April Fool's Day, April 1st in Garland, Texas.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's Memorial Day. I mean, not Memorial Day, WrestleMania week. Yeah. So you guys will be down there, or one of you, or both of you guys going to WrestleMania? What's the story behind that?
That's just Mustafa.
Just me.
Chris Black locked up. They won't let him out.
You know what? If if my schedule is open, if I could spring for WrestleMania tickets, I still wouldn't go. This WrestleMania is going to be the shits.
No, hold on.
It's gonna be the shits.
A lot of bad, but I'm sorry. I'm excited for KO versus Stone Cold if that happens. I'm excited for Brock and Roman Reigns again.
Again.
I think they're gonna deliver. Hands down, the match of both nights is definitely going to be Edge and AJ Styles.
I'll give you that one.
I still don't wonder what they're gonna have Seth Rollins do. But I think whatever Seth Rollins do is gonna be great. Everything else,
the shits.
It's really been bugging me. I've been trying to find the damn match that I was talking about. I know it was Killian Dane. I think it was Killian Dane, Keith Lee, Donovan Dijakovic, and somebody else. No, it was Lars Sullivan. That's what it was. It was Lars Sullivan and Killian Dane were playing catch with somebody in the fucking ring.
Yeah, because there was a whole bunch of big dudes and someone that was just smaller.
Yeah. Whatever. I guess I'm not gonna find it. I'm gonna look up one more thing. We forgot to do something at the beginning of the show. Go ahead and give out your church announcement.
All right. Well, Legacy Pro Wrestling will be returning to Buena Vista, located at 75th in Oklahoma. Tickets are available at LegacyProWI.com. Wow, I can't talk to LegacyProWI.com and Facebook.com/Legacy Pro. You will have Mr. Chris Black and Devin August defending the tag team championships against the family, I think they're calling themselves now, which is Killer Cass Carter and Rough Rider Rashawn. You will have a 60-minute Iron Man match between TW3. He will be challenging the current champion Isaiah Moore. Again, 60-minute Iron Man match. It should be absolutely fantastic. And then we also have a submission match between Jack Spade and Alvin Gray. And if Alvin Gray loses, he is out of Legacy Pro. But if he wins, he gets 5 minutes in the ring with the stick. So, make sure you get your tickets.
And I found the match I was looking for. There we go. It was Adam Cole, EC3, Killian Dane, Lars Sullivan, Ricochet, and Velveteen Dream in a ladder match at NXT TakeOver New Orleans, 2018.
So who was being tossed around? Ricochet?
Yeah, I think it was Ricochet. It was being tossed around by Lars Sullivan and Killian Dane and EC3.
Pause.
Can we have a moment of silence for NXT TakeOver?
Yeah.
Since there will be no more.
It went the way of Lars Sullivan's career.
Okay, it wasn't that bad.
See, this is the AEW prediction show for Revolution, but I'm not going to be on the podcast likely, and there's a couple of weeks away. Just a question for you guys. Have you guys been keeping up with the Control Your Narrative drama that's going on online? I know I mentioned it at the beginning of the last podcast episode where people were saying that it's looking like a far-right wrestling organization and they're just bringing in all the blackballed wrestlers from the industry. But have you guys been keeping up any more with what's been going on?
You know, I didn't want to believe it at first, but then when you hear stuff, you know, basically out of the mouths of the people involved, and they're making jokes about 88 and all this other shit. This is kind of like a wink and a nod. And I'm sorry, I like EC3, but I'm not giving him a pass unless he's just trying to be cute or cheeky or whatever. Those are like dog whistles, and I'm not cool with that. Anyone who doesn't know, the whole 88 is HH Hail Hitler. It's just
Heil Hitler.
Yeah, it's just it's odd that he would choose that and be like, oh, really? And he just kind of...
He said, oh, geez.
Yeah, so I'm sorry, that's not cool with me. And it's just like, if that's what y'all going to be about, fuck y'all. I hope y'all, you know, fucking fail. But it is what it is. He's just like, we're not going to... When they made the comment, we're not going to book people during certain months, I think that was specifically aimed at black folks. Black History Month. Like, I mean, what other month are you talking about?
Yeah, this whole thing.
Yeah.
We'll see why.
Unless they're going the route of Eric Bischoff, which is controversy creates cash. But in this case, you guys, this isn't a good way to start.
Yeah, they signed their TV deal in quotations with Pro Wrestling Television today. So they have a streaming deal set up for the shows. I did kind of like the ideal of the rant room. I don't know if you guys saw that. Yeah. Basically, where you take a wrestler that you don't like and you get to go cut a promo on them, essentially. You get to scream in their face and everything, and they can't do anything.
Which, I don't know, depending on how much you got to pay to do that, that's a brilliant idea to get the Marks monies.
They're basically going to have fans writing the promos for them. Because you know these Smarks know everything. So they'll just be talking about all this real life shit with them. Like, you know what? That's a pretty good promo, guy.
And it's pretty much going to be the inmates running the asylum. They're just like, we're not going with bookers. You want to have a match with the guy, you guys just have a fucking match. Okay, that's kind of dumb.
Well, I did say that this is as much as Jim Cornette is. You overuse the word outlaw mud show because this is going to be the definition of an outlaw mud show. You got a bunch of actual freaking cowboys and farm boys and all that type of stuff doing it, and it's an outlaw promotion, basically.
I mean, all they got to do now is sign Teddy Hart. You know what I'm saying? It's just
Mustafa over there quiet. Mustafa not trying to ruin that signing because that's going to be the place he's going to be able to work after I retire him.
It just, I don't know. It just isn't looking good. I don't know. Why would you want to start a promotion? I mean, I get it. You know, this, like, seriously, have they signed Jackson Riker? Because, I mean, I'm waiting for that news to drop. That will just solidify everything that I'm feeling about this promotion. If they sign Jackson Riker, for real, y'all can go fuck yourselves if that happens.
Yeah, so.
I just don't give a shit. That's what I'm not saying.
All right. Well, here's what EC3 had to say. I'll just read it real quick. CYN signs exclusive television deal with Pro Wrestling TV from the propaganda desk of the Essential Character. I guess that's what he's calling himself now, is the Essential Character. Pro Wrestling TV will launch in April, and Control Your Narrative have agreed to an exclusive agreement to bring wrestling newest brand to its television home. With PWTV, the way professional wrestling is consumed will change forever, states CYN founder EC3. We are very excited to partner with PWTV to bring the stories, skills, and abilities of a distinct and driven group of talents to the wrestling world. In addition to continuing to produce full-length cinematic wrestling features, CYN and PWTV will bring a unique perspective of presenting and distributing wrestling to the fans in the form of a seasonal television approach. Each episode will build the stories of the wrestlers, their conflicts, and their journeys, culminating each season with a live special event. Through this approach, CYN believes the talent will have the freedom to develop and excel, says CYN co-founder Jebediah Kozlowski. Sounds very German. No. While the traditional wrestling format will be represented, CYN's television will be anything but the norm. In addition to its televised show and specials, CYN is planning a live tour to provide talent an opportunity to perform and fans to see them live. The wrestling will be real. The stories will be real. We want to put the power back in the hands of the wrestlers and create a place they can make a living, says CYN co-founder Adam Shearer. Control your narrative will give professional wrestling fans never seen before. From the presentation to how its stories are told, we are thrilled to give them a home to bring their brand to a worldwide audience, said Pro Wrestling TV president Brandon Blackburn. The opportunity to create and collaborate with PWTV and the performers under the umbrella opens up a world of possibilities, says EC3. To control your narrative is to tell your story. With PWTV as our partner, those stories can be told. Pro Wrestling TV will debut in April with a linear channel and on-demand streaming app provided as a free ad-supported service.
Yeah, outlaw show.
So it's gonna be cinematic match.
You know what? To be totally honest with you, I'm not even gonna watch.
They're basically doing the Lucha Underground.
Yeah, nope. Not even. I'm. As far as I'm concerned, we don't need to cover this anymore.
And then I'm gonna just leave everybody with this. Be sure to check out. I got a feeling it's gonna drop after WrestleMania weekend. Bully Ray and Stone Cold have a Broken Skull session coming out.
Oh, I saw that. Yes, that's gonna be a good.
And Bully Ray looks like what's his name, the conspiracy guy?
Alex Jones.
Yeah, he looks like Alex. First, I thought that was Alex Jones sitting next to Stone Cold when I first saw the picture. I was like, Stone Cold's interviewing Alex Jones? Like, what?
That's funny.
But, all right, that is everything. You guys got anything else?
Nope, not about the paper.
All right. Go ahead and give everybody your social medias.
At Xavier Mustafa on Facebook and on Twitter.
You can follow a little enthusiasm, brother. You can follow me at The Natural Chris Black on Facebook and on Instagram, and at _natural_CB on Twitter. And be sure to follow my YouTube channel, The Natural Chris Black. The New Japan Cup has started as of today, March 2nd. Sorry, had a brain fart. March 2nd. So be sure to check out my coverage of every day of the tournament on my YouTube channel.
All right, and you catch me at SlamcastTE78 over on Twitter. Be sure, over on Twitter. Be sure to follow us wherever you get your podcast from. Also, hit that subscribe button here on YouTube. Give us that thumbs up. You give us a thumbs down if you didn't like it as well, but nobody's gonna know because they took that away. But like I said, check us out wherever you get your podcast from, all platforms, and be sure to follow us over on Facebook. We have a slam board over there, as well as the Saturday Night Slamcasters official Facebook page. And other than that, we up out of here. Holla at your boys. Come get slammed. Peace.